Go.
Okay, so now we're going to do a half shelf installation. And as you can see, the length of this shelf is indeed half the length of the one on the bottom, which is a full shelf installation. So for a half shelf installation, the first thing you need to do is check the shelf and what is holding it up. If the shelf holders are plastic, replace those with metal. And you can just go to your hardware store and buy new shelf holders that are metal. Very easy to do. Once you do that and you've replaced it, the next thing you're going to do is put in your brackets and make sure the wheels are in the front, and you're going to measure them at about the height that you have determined is the shelf height. Once you have that, you're going to mark it and then measure that height and go to the other side and measure up and mark that height for the screw and the bracket at the exact same height. Then you're going to drill and screw in the right side and drill and screw in on the left side. And note, these are on the face frame of the cabinet. Okay? So then what you're doing is you've got the backs should be floating still. They haven't been installed, just the fronts. You're going to install your shelf and make sure the alignment is correct and it's where you want it to be. Now, if you have ordered a shelf and it doesn't quite fit the distance, it may be a little bit more narrow than the distance, you may need to build this part out, or you can order spaces from the same company and use those to build this space out. But mine matches perfectly, so I don't need to do that. So once I have that installed, I put the shelf in and I make sure that the brackets in the back are at the proper position, and then I gently pull the shelf out so as not to disturb the back or the alignment of it. And I then can mark where the brackets are going to go or drill it and install a screw on the right side and then mark and then drill, or drill directly and do it on the left side. And do that on both sides alternating so that you have at least 2 screws on both sides. Once that's done, and make sure that you allow for any obstructions in the back. You can see that I have a gas pipe or electric pipe going in the back, and I had to make sure that when I measured for the shelf that I took that into account. But I have measured for that. So now I've got everything installed, and you want to place your shelf in the brackets and make sure it still slides easily and doesn't hit any obstructions, and the door can be shut easily. And mine does. The only other thing I want to talk about on a shelf is what they call the plastic thing, at least at this website. And that's really just a door protector you install on your shelf so that when the cabinet door is open and it hits it, it doesn't damage the cabinet door or the drawer. And it's very simple to install. You just want to make sure that wherever your shelf is positioned, that this plastic thing doesn't interrupt with a hinge. And you can see mine's not near the hinge, so that wasn't in consideration. But you just install it on the side, and you just do it through drilling one hole and drilling in a screw, and the plastic thing is in place, as you can see. And then when the door hits it, it just hits plastic and not the hard wood. So that completes our half shelf installation.